Hey, fixed income guys. So what I will talk about now is going to be the forward yields. And I'm going to give a formula for them, right? So what is a forward yield? A forward yield is a basically what will be the yield of a certain point on a curve, let's say, X amount years from now. For example, right? Let's say that we have a 10-year point today. 10-year point, okay? Let's say that it's around 2%, okay? Now, in 2 years' time, this bond, right, which is a 10-year bond now, is going to be 8 years. 8-year bonds, right? The questions that we're asking, right, can we calculate the yield of this bond? So what would be, right, so if you have a 2-year bond now, a 10-year bond now, you're going 2 steps, you're going to have an 8-year bond, right? So we are asking, okay, what will be the yield or how it is going to look like, 2 years from now, right? So then we are actually talking about 8-year curve. Now, if we have the full spectrum, right? So we have basically bonds maturing 2, 3, 4, 5, yada, 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 in principle ad infinity, right? We can actually calculate the full spectrum 2 years from now. For example, the bond which is 2 years is going to be a cash bond, right? The 3-year bond is going to be basically 1-year bond, etc., etc., etc. So a yield of, a yield of this 3-year bond 2 years from now will be basically a yield of a 1 year, a 1-year bond, okay? The question is how we can do it, okay? So now first we assume that we are in the situation of zero coupon bonds, okay? That's the first thing we assume. Second, we assume that we have continuous compounding interest. And these are assumptions which people are making in order to, to simplify these formulas, right? Because they want the formulas to be as simple as possible because they want to calculate with them. If those formulas are too complicated, it's a problem, right? They will not be able to check their calculations. So what they want to do, they want to see if those formulas, if they can create, a general formula which is simple, okay? So now let's assume first that you have an 8-year bond, you have a 10-year bond, 10-year zero coupon bond, okay? And you want to assume, and now in 2 years, it is going to be 8-year zero coupon bond. Right. So we ask, what is going to be the yield from, if I have a yield 1 here, what will be yield 2 here? Now, the calculation itself is actually pretty straightforward. Why is it pretty straightforward? Because if you know the price of a zero coupon bond today, and let's say that this is D10, right? So this is the price of a 10-year zero coupon bond today. You can actually price it 2 years from now, right? You can price it 2 years from now. Right? So if D10, let's say, is going to be e to the minus y10 times t times 10, okay? And D2, the price of a zero coupon bond today, which matures in 2 years, right? This matures in 2 years, is going to be e to the minus y2 times 2, right? You know what will be the price of this guy 2 years from now. All you need to do is to take your D10, right? And you want to divide by D2. So basically you want to say e to the minus y10 times 10, right? Plus y2 times 2. Okay? You can think about this, right, as being a compounding interest. So if you have something today, let's say you have, let's say 75 cents today will be equal to $1, in 2 years, right? So $1 in 2 years, right? So if 75 cents today So 3/4, right, will be equal to $1 in 2 years, right? Then then all you need to do in order to find out, and you have, let's say, 2, right? So what you need to do, all you need to do is just to take 2, divide by 3/4, so it's going to be 8/3, right? So the $2 today will be equal to $8/3, let's say 2 years from now, right? So it's the same story here. Now, this equals to, right, e to the minus y8 times 8.2, let's say, times, right, 8. What is y82, right, to make it fancy, but it's not fancy? It's basically going to be your 8-year zero coupon bond, the yield of an 8-year zero coupon, sorry. It's going to be, right, the yield of an 8-year zero coupon bond, right, 2 years from now. I mean, my hand is like that, so it must be funny. I mean, it cracked me out. Sorry about that. Hopefully you'll be fine with it. Okay. Now, so what is the equation, guys? Well, the equation is easy peasy. So let's say write the equation here. It's minus 8(2) times 2, right, equals to basically minus y10 times 10 plus y2 times 2. Right? So this is going to be basically, it's not 2, it's 8. So if you look on that, this is basically saying that YH2 equals to basically Y10 times 10 minus 2 times Y2 divided by 8. That's it. That's all there is to it. Right? Now, the one caveat is, why do I know the price of a zero coupon bond? Remember what we did in the previous video where we said that we need to multiply by your compounding interest rate in order to get any price of the future, let's say 2 years or 3 years or whatever years from now. That's where it comes from, right? I'm having my EY10 times 10, the price today, and I'm multiplying it by the price, by the compounding interest, which is actually dictated by my Y2 in order to find it 2 years from now, right? It's a usual thing with a bank, with a borrowing bank. You may want maybe to repeat the borrowing bank argument in my previous, that when I talked about general futures, in this case, just to see that it actually really works. All right? So hopefully this video kind of clarifies those kind of formulas, and we'll continue to discuss it in class. Sorry. Okay, so have a great weekend, and I'll see you in class. Thank you. Bye.